Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Oops the Podcast. I am Giulio Gallerati, sitting here with Francis Ellis, who's using some kind of manicure professional tool.
It's not, it's funny. This is the thing that you use to fix your watch,
Oh, wow.
the components of your watch, but I've turned it into a manicuring
Interesting.
sort of cuticle thing to mess with my cuticles.
Hill Dog can't handle when I have a stray cuticle.
No?
And she'll be like, can you please take care of that? Because then she'll do it and she'll pull in the wrong direction.
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
dude.
bro.
So she's banned. She's become banned.
Ooh.
For a while, she was judicious and she'd do it properly, but recently she like pulled one too back.
Nice
and
word
now...
there. Nice use of judicious.
Oh, thank you.
Do you remember in the movie Black Swan?
That's a good movie.
When she starts sort of picking at a cuticle?
Yeah.
And she pulls like the skin all the way off her finger.
And is that when it's like all black and
there's
like
it's almost like a feather.
Yeah.
That was one of the most, I could not watch. I had a visceral reaction to that. I could not watch that.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's incredible.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Darren Aronofsky, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's the GOAT. Bro, I have a very funny thing that happened to me.
Excellent.
That I would love to tell you about.
Please.
Okay, so a good friend of mine, like an old friend of mine too, is getting married soon, a couple weeks. I didn't get invited. And we haven't talked a ton, and she's kind of been in Philly a bunch and not really in the city, and like her guy's from Philly. And I've met him a couple times, and I was like, you know what? I have a ton of weddings. I'm not going to take this personally. And then this started to get closer, and like the people who I know her through, who are closer to her than I am, they went down for like a couple shower, which is like a European style, like whatever. She's like half Swedish. And there was a bridal shower, like all this stuff happened, right? And my boy kept being like, dude, it's weird. He's like, there must have been some mistake. Because I had sort of like Easter drinks with them. I don't think that's a thing. Like they had Easter dinner and I was like, we'll meet you guys at the end. So with this guy who I used to live with and his older sister, who are like basically siblings of mine. And she's like, his sister's like, there's no way, something must have gone wrong. Like I know she has like some wedding planners. There must have been some mistake. So today she texts me and she sent me a funny picture of like somebody's RSVP. And it was them saying some like funny shit or something. Like they just don't know how to RSVP to a wedding, clearly. And we laughed, haha. And she then said, dude, I'm sorry, this is worth it. So she goes, oh my God, I meant to tell you. She's like, your invitation only has your name on it, but Hillary is also invited, of course. And I wonder if she even said that because she was like, oh, G hasn't made it to anything and he hasn't said anything. And I was like, hi, like, LOL, like whatever. I don't think I ever got one. I was like, which is all good. I understand. I'm sure you had to invite like 1 million people. But if you sent one, I never got it. She goes, did you get the save the date with like 5 question marks? I go, no. She goes, you've fully been invited to everything. Are you kidding? I'm going to cry. Like, you're so important to me. And I almost was like, oh, maybe like she realized now she didn't invite me and she feels bad. And she's like acting like I was invited to everything, but I wasn't really. And I'm like, ha ha ha, it's just not a big deal. Like, I love you too. Like, obviously would love to be there. And then she goes, fucking blank. The guy who was like, dude, I can't believe you're not invited. I don't want to like air him out. She goes, so-and-so sent me your address. Please tell me I have the right one. You're on 70th Street, right? I'm like, 70th?
Yeah.
She's like, apartment like 1? And I'm like, not even close. And she goes, OMFG. And I'm like, okay, why would I live on 70th Street? You know what I mean? I'm like, clearly she is now lying because she feels bad. So she's pulling the I had the wrong address all along thing. That's what I'm taking from this. Okay. I'm like, because, it must have, I had the wrong, you know what I mean? What do you mean you had the, like, why would I live on 70th Street? I was like, why would he tell you that I live on 70th Street? He knows where I live.
Yeah, but why don't you suspect him instead of her?
Because why would he tell her that I live on 70th? Because he's like literally my best friend. He's such a best friend that I don't even consider him a friend.
Have you ever lived on 70th Street?
Never in my life have I lived on 70th Street. The only time I lived uptown was when I lived with him, which is in the 90s.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if they lived on 70th Street.
They live on 92nd Street.
Okay.
So no one lives on 70th. There's no way to confuse 70th. So I'm like, she's just making this up, but I'm going to let her have it because I don't want this to be awkward. She's such a good friend. It's all good. And I go, he isn't that dumb. LOL. Maybe there was a mix up or whatever. She then sends me a screenshot of their text conversation.
Oh, wow.
She goes, do you have G's address saved? Need for invites. He goes, I'm like, dude. And this is the guy who's like, I can't believe you're not invited, man. I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, dude, are you kidding me? So I send him a screenshot and he's like, oh, dude, my bad. It's his girlfriend's address. And I don't know why he would think.
That's his girlfriend's address?
His girl, and maybe bleep the address, not that it matters, but but dude, like, I don't know why. Maybe he was texting and driving and just assumed she was asking. But I'm like, dude, do you not understand how wedding invites work? They would send you the invite. She's your +1. They're not sending. Why would she need her address, dude? He's like, dude, I don't know, dude. And I was like, what a clusterfuck. Like, I can't believe that. So now, all of a sudden, we have a wedding in a couple of weeks.
Oh my God.
Which it's going to be easy. It's like drivable. I can stay with him. It's like where he has a house. And it's going to be really fun and dope. But like, what a crazy turn of events, dude.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Well, I'm really glad that she was telling the truth.
Totally. She was completely telling the truth, and good on her for being. And dude, I would never have held it against her for a second. This type of shit isn't worth making things weird.
Yeah.
We're old pals. She doesn't even live here anymore. It's okay. But it's nice to know that, of course, I was in the mix from the
Wow.
get.
Yeah. Wow. Good
Crazy,
one.
right?
Good one there.
Dude, fucking, it's just crazy to have the proof like that. Him texting a preposterous address for me to be staying.
Think about how much more proof there is in the world now.
It's crazy, right?
Do you know how many times I've sent screenshots to people of things?
It's crazy. You just can't escape it. Crazy. Dude, speaking of proof, okay, today I went to cryotherapy. Have you ever done that?
I think so.
Might be bullshit.
Is it ice?
Chris, what was that? Chris just did we did the Monster Mash. Oh, so no. So this one's better.
That's what it is?
This isn't the like tube one. This is like you walk into like a chamber and you're standing there.
It's really cold.
And they just blast polar fucking mist on you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. And I don't know, whatever. It's supposed to be like good for recovery and like, what my hip's been bothering me. So I'm like, whatever, this is
I'm in
fine.
so much pain right now.
It's very deflammatory.
I have so much lower back pain. I don't know what is going on.
So dude, they say it's like taking 5 ice baths in consecutive days.
Really?
Yeah. Which is like, I love ice baths. So I'm like, okay, that's all you had to say.
Mm-hmm.
I took an ice bath yesterday. So anyway, I'm in this place.
Where are you taking ice baths?
So there's a cold plunge at the gym that I go to in one of the locations, and it's so fucking cold that it's essentially an ice bath. Like if you stay in there for 10 minutes, it's an ice bath.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah.
Okay. So keep going.
Okay. So
cryotherapy.
I'm changing, and I was listening to another guy getting ready to do cryotherapy, talking to the woman who worked there in a way that I maybe wouldn't talk exactly like this. But it made me realize that the way that I talk to people is wrong listening to this guy talk. And it like threw my world upside down.
Extrapolate.
Okay. So this is what he was saying. I wrote it down. What is that? Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay. So he goes, I just hear him in the middle of a sentence go, yeah, getting a little cray cray. And then he goes, oh, I'm so fucking sore. I can't fucking handle it.
This is you.
I'm like, dude, this is shit that I would say to somebody. I'm like, I need to stop cursing so much. And especially to people that I don't know. Like, it's not casual. It's just like unnecessary. I'm like, and then she's like, all right, what song do you want to play in there? He's like, let's do Hot in Here by Nelly. I was like, dude, this guy's a fucking turkey. I wouldn't say the last part, but just like casually F-bombing to like people at fucking Just Salad is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Give me some fucking avocado. Man, I've been eating so much fucking dog shit. I need a salad, dude. I don't know. I don't actually say that, but it just like, it gave me anxiety, dude. I don't know. Whatever.
It's funny. I feel like that's such a guy thing, is to start swearing more as a form of bonding with other guys.
No, but it was a woman.
Sure.
But still,
then maybe it's showing off in a way.
Right. Fuck.
You know, it's this, we're familiar. I feel as if I know you well enough to swear around you.
I'm chill.
You're cool, right?
Right.
You can handle fuck.
Yeah.
You've heard it before. I don't know why this made me think of this, but when we were in Nashville on the Saturday, a friend of ours was staying at the brand new Soho house down there.
Oh, shit.
And so we went and hung out with them.
Was it nice?
For the day. I mean, it was incredible.
Nice.
It's brand new. And I think it's their biggest one.
Wow.
So
Insane.
It's huge. They have a pool that is 5 or 6 times the size of the one at the Dumbo location or the one in Meatpacking. So it's a proper pool.
Got it.
And people were having a good time. Everyone in Nashville's pretty nice. You know, it was definitely difficult to sort of navigate the whole, each member can only have one guest into the pool.
What?
Very strict limitations on all that. But once we were in there and sorted it out, there was a guy who was standing in the pool. He was wearing a hat. He had one earring. He was kind of overweight, had some tats, but very sort of charming, affable Southern guy.
Okay.
Probably my age. And I don't even know what it was, but from the second we started talking to each other, it was inside jokes. Do you know what I mean?
So how did you start talking to him to begin with?
I think he said something to me.
But
it was his opening line was probably something like, I don't even know what it was, but it was like, you know, you better cover up if you're gonna you know, not like a, hey, how are you? Or what's your name? Or even a nice day, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It was as if we were picking up from a conversation we'd been having for years.
Right.
And I met him right there. I mean, I was instantly on board.
Do you think he expected that?
It's almost as if he could sense that I was...
You were ready to rip?
It was similar to what I'm saying with the F words. Like, you believe these fucking people? Is, saying that to someone. And I think it was because we were two of the only people in the water at that point. Because the day hadn't warmed up yet to summon the swans to the pool.
So were they like, bring your bathing suit? Or were you just like, I
brought a bathing suit.
Yeah, I know, but like, how did you know to bring one?
I almost bring a bathing suit everywhere I go.
Did you just assume that it would have a pool?
I mean, the one of my worst nightmares in life is that I will be at somewhere where there's a body of water and not be able to swim in it. Which is why my bird dogs are so
damn right.
So good, because you could there's a drop of a hat, just hop in there.
Dude, absolutely.
Have you ever just had to go in your boxers?
I try to avoid it, dude.
Yeah, because now that I wear briefs, when you come out of the water, I mean, you could read the braille off my penis. You could read a story.
Dude, that's great.
Every line, the shape of my mushroom cap, whatever it is.
You just come out looking like a stripper, dude.
Yeah, and you pull the wet bathing suit or the wet box briefs away from you to not provide such a clear view.
Yeah.
But even then, they're too tight, and especially if they're wet, people are getting it's too garish.
It's a move.
It's too garish.
But dude, just having to swim in your underwear in general is just like because then like you have to then do something with the underwear. If you're not willing to throw them away, you have to wring them out.
But I don't have a problem.
In a bag.
I don't have a problem being wet.
But so you'd be willing to let your box, so you'd sit out
I
and let them
would,
dry?
after swimming, I would put on jeans over my wet underwear and be okay with that.
What?
My body, swear to God.
Well, then not
if I were going to
do something else.
Not if I were going to like a movie premiere or a.
So yeah, I can't handle that.
An event.
I can't handle that.
I would have no problem. And do you know why? Because nothing dries clothing faster than your own body heat.
Really?
Buddy, sometimes if I have a shirt that I'm desperate to wear for a night out on the town, I will take a shirt out of the dryer that's only halfway through its load and just let my body do the rest of the work.
Okay.
And I'm hot so often that the dampness from the garment actually keeps me cool
Oh, wow.
until they meet in the middle and it's dry.
I hear you on damp clothing. I just don't on wet boxers, dude. There's no way that like that would warm you. Boxers under jeans would dry faster than you being in the sun or like laying them on hot stone or something.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have a hot
You just
stone
can't.
upon which to cook
That's
your underwear.
That's true.
You know, it's not a Korean restaurant.
Korean barbecue. Dude, that's good. Yeah, but even dude, like
You know when you get a hot stone in
Yeah.
a Korean restaurant to cook your friggin' steak on and you don't know what you're doing, so you're like, I think it's done. And you eat it and you're like, I wasn't even close.
there is a learning curve. You need to go with someone who knows what they're
Hey,
doing.
can we get another stone? Because this one's not hot enough anymore. Getting friggin' raw meat disease.
Dude, that's great. But yeah,
The most extreme example of this, by the way,
Hmm.
was when I was in Lake Como for the summer for my friend's
Yeah.
wedding. And in the middle of the wedding, I mean, people were dancing, the band was playing. I decided I wanted to go swimming in the lake. And I was wearing a tuxedo. So I snuck out from the villa past the like catering
what time
tent,
is it?
11 p.m.
Jesus.
Dark.
So this is before you guys even went to the bar.
What?
In town? Did you go to a bar?
We didn't the night of the wedding.
Got it.
Every other night we did.
Got it.
But I snuck past the catering tent by myself and walked down to the water over a rocky beach, took all my clothes off, including my patent leather sneaker, my shoes or whatever, you know, my bow tie, my bullshit, folded it into a nice pile on the beach
Oh
there,
my God.
and then had to walk out across rocky water.
Oh, God.
So you're doing that like
Yeah.
wobbly walk, like you just recovered from a car accident, and I finally get to knee depth, and I lie down in the water so that I can pull myself along, and I swam out into the channel and waited. I treaded water
Oh my God.
in the darkness and just looked at the moon
Were you
over the
naked?
hills. No, I was in my boxers.
Okay.
I was in my boxers, my briefs. And then I came back in after doing that for about 20 minutes. By the way, I realize this is kind of weird that I did this.
This is how
I
like
love-
every seafaring monster movie starts.
I love water.
Yeah.
I love swimming more than anything in the world. It gives me peace.
I like it too.
Not as much as I do.
you, apparently.
Not
yeah.
like me.
It is
You
nice.
know,
though.
you need a fucking hot stone to do it. I
But
don't
you
even.
but you go for do you tip if the water's available, you'll go for a while, almost always.
If water is available, it will be the center of my day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
very
be in the water
youthful of you.
all day.
It's one of the most that's like one of your youthful things.
Yeah, I can just entertain myself.
Mm.
You know, I can kind of just do all kinds of games all by myself. Underwater, you know, somersaults, handstands. Don't need anyone to grade my form. You know, I'll just stick my legs out and be like, yeah, that was a 9.3.
Dude, you and my dad would enjoy each other. My dad loves water activities too. He's
Yeah.
always like trying to body surf. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What are you doing out there?
that's great.
But he loved no, I know.
I can stay in the water for hours.
Yeah.
But I was out in the water in and then I came back in and I had to, you know, put my socks on over wet feet. I had to put my by the way, I thought it was black tie. It wasn't black tie.
Okay.
And I say that because it was as a groomsman, I was given a specific outfit to wear, which was like these linen khaki pants
Mm-hmm.
with a blue blazer and a white shirt. So the linen khaki pants over my wet briefs, I mean, you could tell it looked like I had pissed myself a lot. I mean, really wet from here to the
And you didn't tell
kneecap.
anybody you were going?
No, but when I came back in, everyone knew what I had
I got
done.
it, got it.
And then 3 of my friends were like, I want to go. So I then showed them the way and went back out with them.
So then you undressed again?
Yep.
Holy fuck, dude.
And everyone was like a highlight of the whole
Will you
thing.
ever wear that suit again?
Oh yeah, it's been dry cleaned. It's fine.
No, I didn't even mean it in that way. I just wasn't sure if there was some like, I'll never wear this again.
What, like a game worn jersey?
No, I don't know. It just seems no. The more you explain it, the more I realize it's actually possible to do. It's just like not something that people would attempt typically.
Why would I not wear that outfit again?
I have no idea. I don't know.
But you said
You're right. You're right. I realize now it's a ridiculous question. But I just thought, because like the idea, like dry cleaning is so annoying to me that sometimes I'd rather just wear something once than get it dry cleaned. If it's like a sweater that needs to be dry cleaned, I'm like, fuck this, dude. I don't want to wear this.
I kind of get what you mean, but you
just got to do it, I guess.
I can't afford to just buy new sweaters all the time.
I know. But also the dry cleaning, it gets expensive, man.
Yeah, but that's just the cost of going to shit.
Yeah. Chris, what do you got over there?
I just can't. This is the first time I've ever heard you talk, and I didn't know if you were joking.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm not joking at all.
I know. Now I realize that, but like, I'm just shocked.
Wow, that's so funny.
Chris enters the gray zone.
3 years into the podcast.
I genuinely had no idea. I thought you were joking at first, and then you had that whole other story.
About being swimming in boxers?
Yeah, I just thought that you thought it would be funny that you do that.
No,
and then you just put clothes on after.
I have no problem. I know that I will dry. I know that my think about the hottest parts of your body, right?
Your
totally. Body. Yeah. Do you remember this from bio class? The areas of heat are where your arteries are the most, whatever. So around your groin, around your genitals is a very warm, it's a very hot area. My upper thighs are much warmer than like my knees.
Yeah.
And my armpits are always pretty warm.
Mm-hmm.
I think my neck's pretty hot. Right in front of my heart, very warm area. Very warm area.
Dude, I sweat in a heart shape. Right on my chest.
Okay, yeah. I can see that. I can see that. I see what you mean by that. Yeah, I can see that happening. So the point is, if there is a part of your outfit to get wet, you should target those areas. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude.
Also, why do people some people don't like getting wet, and I never understood that. It bothers some people to be wet. I like being wet.
That's why you just went to the watering springs last week.
That's right.
That's just you. Just go and find water.
You're absolutely, dude. If it's hot where I am, then I need to be able to go in the water. Air conditioning doesn't do it for me. I need to be submerged to cool off.
Are you wearing boxer briefs or briefs?
I don't know what the difference is.
Boxer brief have like shorts. They're like they still fit to your shit.
That's what I'm wearing.
But like they're not like the little sort of like
tighty whities.
No.
Okay.
Boxer briefs.
Okay.
Yeah, boxer briefs. Yeah.
I could see you making the switch to briefs gracefully though.
I don't know, man.
Right? I feel like you look good in briefs.
I don't know. I don't like the feeling of them riding up against my hot zone. I don't like that at all. In fact, it's been hard to find any boxer briefs at all that don't bunch up.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's funny, dude. I have one pair of briefs. The only reason I've kept them is because just in case I happen to be out of laundry, like I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
I have it still just in case. So when I'm wearing them, if you were to see them, you'd know that. But when Hillary sees me wearing them, she always starts dying laughing immediately and just calls me the Tushy Boy. Which is pretty fucking funny.
That's good.
Dude.
Well, Chris, what do you got?
Nothing. I just think it's so funny. This is just a little aside, but like, Julio, you're talking about the wedding, and then you're like, oh, is that before or after you went to the bar? Because I was thinking the same thing, because we just know so much about your life. It's insane.
Yeah. So true. We like remember the specific details of the wedding itinerary from last June.
Yeah. I would have had no problem going to the bar wet like that, though, because I would have known that I would have dried.
Would you have though?
My hot zones would have taken care of the wetness.
Dude, I don't buy it, bro.
It's so much less time than you think.
Maybe, yeah.
Do an experiment, okay? Take a wet shirt. You could take a sopping wet shirt out of the washing machine.
Depends what kind of shirt.
In the summer, cotton, t-shirt, whatever.
Okay.
Put it on, start a timer. I mean, it might even be 30 to 45 minutes.
Really?
It's less time than what the dryer would take to finish the job.
Crazy. Yeah, I need to give it a shot, man. I've never
You should try it.
It's so uncomfortable to be in sopping wet clothing.
See,
For
that's
me,
where
for
we
me.
really differ.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that, and I've never understood it. It's the same reason. It's the same reason that I don't ever use an umbrella.
Oh wow.
I never use an umbrella because I feel claustrophobic under it. And I have no problem with the rain doing with me what it will.
Take me, rain.
Yes, render me in your vision. Affect me as you will, God.
That's funny.
I have no problem with rain. I like rain. I like being in the rain.
Dude, the thing that I hate about umbrellas is having to do like umbrella air traffic control with the people you're walking by.
Yeah,
And like lift it up and down and fucking, then it gets blown away.
worse yet are the people who don't have the courtesy to
Oh
do
my
that
God.
and assume you will limbo your way away from a fucking terrible eye injury because they bought the cheap umbrella and its spokes are poking out
Oh,
like
metal.
a spider legs. I hate those people. Those are the people that what I'll do is instead of dodging out of the way, I'll just put up a hand in front of my face and knock their stupid umbrella out of my way. Protect myself, make them know they're wrong.
Dude, that's what I do when I walk in between ferns or
Yeah.
like at night
Mm-hmm.
so
Spot
that you don't
on.
get spider webbed.
Yeah, God.
I do the hand and
Great point.
the shark fin in front.
Great point. I do that too. You walk through a forest whose branches and trees are close together.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you're fucked.
you're double fisting. You're double fisting that walk. You know, you got
have
to.
You have to, dude.
Nothing worse than getting a face full of spider web.
It's terrible.
Oh,
Dude, by the way, did you watch the new Jackass?
not yet, but I'm keen to.
Dude, it's so funny. It's
I'm keen to.
insane.
Is it available?
You can rent it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Dude, I just like couldn't, because I remember when they were young doing all that stuff, I was like, and I thought about this about hip hop too, that first generation of both of those things. I'm like, what's going to happen when these guys get old? I didn't realize that they would all be doing the same thing still,
I know.
making new music and still fucking getting gored by animals and
Ugh.
doing crazy shit. Dude, it was so funny
I know, but I have there's a sadness in it to me.
about like animal cruelty.
No, about the cast of Jackass. I think that is, like a lot of things, something where they had enormous success as young men and young people and tried to reinvent themselves, but all people wanted was to see them hurting themselves.
Did they really try to reinvent themselves?
Well, think about, Johnny Knoxville
He was
was
like an
doing some
actor.
movies,
Yeah.
some decent movies. And then Steve-O was like a stand-up comedian, was trying to is doing stand-up,
Mhm.
but like his act is him stapling his nuts to his leg.
Yeah.
And not just that, I don't want to discredit him, but Bam Margera, did the Viva La Bam, they Wild Boys, they had shows
Yeah.
that weren't just stunts and hurting themselves, but people kept expecting them to come back to that. And I think that there was in the same way that like boxers can't figure out, they don't know when to retire and they go past their prime and get horrible brain injuries. There's how do you hang it up
So that's
when you're being offered millions
Totally.
and millions of dollars to come back and do a fourth film?
right. So I mean, do totally. Listen, they seem like they're having a great time though, dude.
Yeah.
The one guy, bro, there's this one guy, I think his name's Aaron McGee.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy is absolutely fucking nuts. And I feel like he never has gotten like his due credit.
Interesting.
Whereas all those other guys had spinoffs. I don't know if he did or didn't, but dude, like that guy does some of the craziest shit in this movie over and over and over.
I'm
again.
excited to watch
And
it.
even like in Jackass the movie, I think they got him in that like terrorism prank. That like
Yeah, they
I think that was
did.
him, right?
Yeah, well, he was in the cab, and then the
Yeah,
driver,
dude, it's fucking
and they
insane.
put him in the trunk.
That was insane.
He's like, "That's fucking Johnny Knoxville, man. Don't you know who we are?"
Dude, it's really, dude, I really think that, all that stuff aside, it's still pretty fucking good.
No, I know,
think
I
you'd
know.
enjoy it. I hear you, though.
My
I hear
point
you.
was in a side point, and
I
that's
hear
why
you.
one reason why I was almost glad to see that they brought in sort of a new crop
Yeah.
of people, because these guys don't have fucking ligaments left in their knees, and Johnny Knoxville's had 20 concussions. Like,
Dude, he gets fucked up in this one, too.
pass it on to someone else.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
Man, I think a lot about I do think a lot about the injury, the pain that awaits me. Already, I'm 33.
Oh, like just from like hips,
Just the
degenerative.
joint,
Yeah.
the stuff from playing sports hard for 18 years.
And dude, but just not any sport, like contact sports.
Yeah, but like exactly. I mean, even
Big
after college ended and I still played men's league basketball,
Mhm.
still played men's league soccer. And just that amount of running and cutting, and it's not good for anyone.
Mhm.
And I'm just, I have this back pain right now that comes and goes, and my lower back flares up just from sitting on an airplane too long. And I almost feel like that's just going to get worse.
You guys gotta to transition into the sort of healing, not healing, but just kind of like trying to, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but instead like making it so that your life can be tolerable phase.
I know, but man, I think a certain level of pain is inescapable,
Mhm.
and I know that I'm staring down probably a handful of joint replacement surgeries that are gonna suck. When I'm 50 or 40, hopefully the technology will have improved by then, and as it is, but I just know that I'm in for sleepless nights and pain, and I'm not looking forward to it, man. And fortunately, I can say that it was worth it
Yeah.
because I can draw a very direct line between sports and whatever success I have in my life
Mhm.
today.
Mhm.
It's all interconnected.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't go back and not play. Man,
You're in the restorative phase, dude.
I guess so.
You know?
I can't even imagine a life without pain. I'm just constantly, and it affects everything you do. It affects your mood,
Yeah.
your willingness to
And
like
it
tolerate
affects your
people.
hope.
Yeah,
Like just even knowing that you can't go into the fucking gym and let her rip when you're like hurt or you have a nagging injury, it's really deflating.
totally.
You know?
I have a question.
Well, dude, but real quick, before we move on, can
Yeah.
I tell you about one of the pranks?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Dude, and I'm not going to spoil the like punchline of it. But by the way, there's a lot of really hilarious usage of animals in a really creative way. And it's just like scene after scene is so funny. But like the thing that's so funny about it is like the prank will be done. And then Johnny Knoxville just also has a cattle prod. And then he's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one thing, they tie a guy up to an electric chair and they give him a lie detector test. And they're like, if you lie, we're going to zap you. And he tells the truth and they still zap him.
Yeah.
And then something completely unexpected happens that's like way scarier that I'm not going to ruin for you because I don't want to
But
ruin
this is my point where I wouldn't even be able to be on set because they talk about how, the pranks never end.
And dude, even if you're a celebrity guest, they still get you.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
You haven't slept in 2 days because you've been shooting and you're trying to catch a nap in a van. They'll
Nope.
find you
They'll explode.
and they'll like tattoo your forehead with a swastika or something.
Dude, they're fucking.
I mean, my nerves would be fraying. I'd be hallucinating in fear.
Yeah, it's sort of that like mischievous, like skater humor.
Yeah.
It really has been like an important cultural movement.
Totally.
In every way. There's like such an edge and confidence to it.
Yep. Agreed.
It's intimidating.
What
were you gonna ask me? Sorry,
well, I was going to ask you, that's my thing is very different, but I wanted to ask you, I think there was an op-ed in the New York Times that said that American voters are more fearful now than they have been in a generation.
Of what?
It's 3 main things. It's the impact of inflation, so their finances, right?
Mhm.
It's war.
Mm-hmm.
With Russia, nuclear implications.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one other thing. Maybe, Chris, you could look it up. There was a New York Times op-ed that was like American voters fear.
Mm.
And there's 3 things. Now, it occurred to me that in my lifetime, even with 9/11, I have never known the fear of nuclear war. I've never known it.
Do you fear nuclear war?
More now than I ever have in my life. It's the first time that it's been really a little bit more at the front of the mind.
Mm-hmm. I guess I hear you. I mean,
And
dude, yeah, I don't know.
not knowing if, I mean, this is the first time in my life that I can recall, maybe only because I've only been aware of this kind of thing as of the last 10 years or whatever, but I wouldn't be surprised if if a recession started tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If I woke up and the S&P was down 20%,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I just think there's just so much uncertainty and all of this. And I wanted to ask you, do you wake up fearful? Do you have fear
No.
that hangs over you
maybe, but not of those things. I'm definitely not scared of nuclear war with Russia. That's like ridiculous. Honestly, it's like a ridiculous thing to be scared of. There's just like many more things to be actually scared of, like getting robbed while walking down the street, or like I'm not scared of that either. But like, and inflation, it just feels like, occasionally that's a thing that happens. You know what I mean? They happened in the 70s. Like it like happens, and it's doesn't seem as bad to me as like 2008 was from like a money perspective with like the mortgage crisis and all that stuff. But so I honestly, no, that stuff doesn't like worry me. And I know that like, even if the market just gets absolutely crushed, there's never been a time ever where it didn't bounce back to the highest it's ever been, like pretty soon.
Okay. But the market came back from the crash in 2008 within a few years.
Yeah.
In the 1970s, it took 20 to 30 years for the market to return
to the number that it was at then.
And we've never known a recession that took that long for the market to recover.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's still like not like it won't prevent me from investing. It won't.
No, and nor should it, because there's no way to predict, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I wanted to ask you about how you cope with fears over which you have no control, because I am back to having major sleep problems, like what I had in COVID, in quarantine, where I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning and my mind is just consumed with worry and like feeling like I can't continue to sleep because I gotta get to things.
Yeah.
I gotta get on the computer, and it's bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
It's such stuff that doesn't need to be dealt with at that moment. But and then it's obviously a self-fulfilling prophecy of I'm aware that I'm not sleeping, so it makes me more anxious, and
totally.
And then my day's gonna be ruined and all of that. Any thoughts? Are you just so focused on your own life that you're not even burdened by these outside factors?
No, there's like things that like worry me in general. And of course, yeah, dude, of course. It's like, how am I ever going to be able to do X, Y, and Z type of thing? Sometimes about money, sometimes about whatever. Not really about like these big kind of like global things that I can't control ever. But like, dude, the thing about, there's definitely a trend about just like us that honestly in America, and I've even read articles about this like sort of illusion about the decline of America. Like for generations, everyone's talking about how America is declining, and it just is never true and still isn't. Like there's still reason to believe that America is like the premier global superpower. And while we have competition, and maybe we didn't in the 90s, like there's just still so many reasons why this is still an amazing place to live. And it's great. You know what I mean? Maybe China's economy will become bigger than ours or something, but like there's still so many reasons why being in America is better, why America's so dope. And like, I love America. And to me, there's so many things to be grateful for and excited about. And like nothing can be perfect. So I try to appreciate the things that I have that are good and not try to control the things that I can control. Which this is easy to say, all this stuff. There's plenty of things that I worry about. But
what causes you to lose sleep? What do you fear?
Like sometimes I'll fear like the idea that I'll look back and like see that I could have done things if I just like approached them differently or something. Like wishing I could have type of thing is something that I fear. Oh, what if I had just done this? Or what if I had been more like this? And that'll like give me some degree of anxiety, or just like the idea that, you know, my future is starting to seem more and more like, there's like less, you know, the older you get, the more that like there's fewer and fewer surprises potentially with like the way that things can turn out. And that's like not as exciting sometimes. Sometimes I fear that I won't be able to visit every country in the world. That's like very childish, but no, it's true. Like those kind of things are really exciting to me. And like, how am I going to possibly balance my life with like the responsibilities that I'll end up having mixed with the things that I want to do? And will those things change? Like, will I even want to still do those things? And now I just wasted all this time doing this thing that I think I'm going to want to do. And then I'm not going to want to do it anymore. It was a waste of time. Then I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't a waste of time. Like dialogues like that will keep me up, or like really high highs or low lows will also keep me up. If I do something really well, I'll be so excited I can't sleep. If I do something really terribly, I'm like bummed out I can't sleep. I don't know. That was kind of long-winded.
Oh, that's what I needed. I needed you to answer the question in full. I think, not that you asked for feedback, but I think that the one point there that really stood out to me was this idea that even if your priorities change, you'll look back on what you were doing all this time and think it was, why did you waste your time doing that? I don't buy that for a second.
Right.
I think everything you are doing and have done will inform what you do later.
Totally.
So if 5-10 years from now, you realize, you know what, my dream of visiting every country in the world, I care more now about being with my family or, you know, let's say spending time with my kids. And I don't need to accomplish that goal. And I wish that I hadn't spent so many years traveling to all those countries. That's nonsense.
I know.
Because my God, think of the stories that you'll tell your kids about the time you went to Iraq, and you know, and they'll brag about that.
Totally.
My dad's been to this place. My dad's been to that place. That is so cool.
Yeah.
And it will inform your ability as a parent. It will deepen you as a man. Your breadth of experience and your what you've seen from the world, I think, will lend itself to so many things. Parenting, knowledge.
I really think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
But I really do feel that I have gained a lot of like wisdom, and I'm like, relatively speaking, for myself based on my exposure to like different cultures and like getting to really like be part of the cultures as opposed to just kind of like being a tourist. Has been really special. And sometimes I even worry that I'm going to have like sensory overload. Like I have so many memories that would be people's like story they tell at dinner. I have so many of those that it's like kind of crazy. And I'm almost like, I hope I can remember all this shit.
Yeah, but that's what makes doing the podcast with you for me so fun is that every episode you'll say, "Did I ever tell you?" And I'm like, "No."
Crazy.
And why not? How have you kept that from me this long? I love those moments. And, you know, I didn't know anything about the fact that you had done that TV show and that I didn't know that story, you know, stuff like that. Just finding stuff out about you from 10 years ago before we knew each other is super, super fun.
It is fun, dude.
Well, that's good.
So, but hold on. So are you in the midst of being stressed out? Well, maybe, but like there might be reasons for that. Like,
I don't know what is going on.
You've made some moves.
I don't know what is
I mean?
going on, man, because I can't differentiate between fear and excitement anymore. This is the first time this has ever happened to me where I wake up and I can't tell if it's Christmas morning or the apocalypse. I'm serious.
I know. It's crazy.
I have this heart racing, brain racing, revving of the engines at 3 a.m. that, you know, could be anything from, oh no, I'm fucked. This thing is about to happen. Whatever. Karmic reversion to the mean. Or, oh God, you got to get on the Restoration Hardware outlet sale and make sure that you don't miss out on a potential outdoor chaise lounge, which could be at an 80% discount due to some minor nick that wouldn't even bother you in one of the legs. Quick, log on to the internet right now. You're gonna miss it. That is a serious thought of mine. I wake up thinking about watches.
Dude, this is why boozing's so fun, dude.
Oh,
I added this as a tag to one of my jokes, and it's not going to be funny out of context. But I'm like, the second I've had at least 3 drinks, I become such an optimist. Like everything seems like a good idea. Things that I would have never dared to do. I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I can't give up. Sweet nectar, dude.
I agree. I don't know. Weed has no effect anymore, really, on calming me down.
And it used to, but you've just smoked too much.
Well, no, I don't know if it's that. I think Sierra really pushed me to switch over to the Sativa because I was becoming a bit of a somnambulist when I was smoking the Indicas.
Damn, bro, you outdone yourself. 301 episodes.
That's a pretty good
By the
one.
way, that's a lot of episodes, guys. We love all of you. Thank you for
301.
This is episode 301.
Wow.
Super fucking exciting. 302.
Oh wow.
Christ.
Somnambulist, Chris. SOMNAMBULIST. It means someone who walks through life as though they are sleepwalking, having sort of the tendencies of someone who's half asleep, right? What do you got?
Yeah, it says someone who walks about in their sleep. It doesn't say that other stuff,
There it
but
is.
yeah, that means
Damn, bro. That was fucked up.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
That was the best. That's potentially somnambulist.
A somnambulistic sort of approach to life. Why did I say this? What was I saying?
Right.
So when I would smoke the Indicas, I would just melt and be kind of, crippled into the couch, and it wasn't that fun for her to be around me. And my somnambulistic drooling self. But once I started smoking the Sativas, she really pushed me towards like getting the most uplifting and socially liberating ones. And
you've noticed the difference?
Well, that's all we've got now. And so when I smoke those, I don't know, man.
Those fuck with my brain.
They're like crack, some of them.
But they
like
make me have the racing thoughts.
Yeah.
When I didn't have them before.
I think I need to go back to the heavy indica, like the Blue Dreams and the whatever, some of the ones that are truly used as like medicine for helping people sleep.
Put you down.
The only problem with that is sometimes when I smoke those and I wake up in the morning and I'm groggy.
Yeah.
I get the really dry mouth.
So it's funny, dude. If I smoke a bunch of like heavy indica or whatever, like smoke too much at all. If I like take more than one puff, then I wake up the next day effectively unable to function. And I have the craziest anxiety from it. It's like the same as being hungover proper, like just being super hungover and just like having insane anxiety.
Oof.
I can't do it, dude. Random thought. When's the last time you watched X-Files?
I've never.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
I've never watched the show.
X-Files fully holds up. It's so good.
It was always the show that was on after Malcolm in the Middle.
On Fox?
Yeah, and I remember thinking, it's too scary. Is it the guy? It's Hank Moody.
David Duchovny, yeah. Hank Moody and Gillian Anderson.
Okay.
Who, by the way, I could not appreciate her beauty as a young man. And now that I'm a bit older, she was gorgeous. Dude.
Okay. All right.
What a beautiful gal.
Are you somebody who can appreciate campy things that came out 20 years ago? Is this a campy thing?
No, and I can. Like, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre or whatever, like the original one. And it's like not scary, but because it's campy, X-Files is not campy. It's just good. And like, granted, some of the special effects would be like kind of stupid, but like, it's pretty high concept and it's just really good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend watching it.
How's your progress through Ozark?
Dude, I told you, we watch 15 seconds a night because Hill Dog gets scared. We're getting nowhere. So I'm going to need to start watching it on my own. I did start Tokyo Vice.
Oh, me too.
And I'm loving
it's
it.
so good.
I'm so glad to hear it.
I only watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, it gets better and better.
Oh my
I
God.
find it getting better and better each
Yeah.
episode.
It's awesome.
Dude, Ansel Elgort is so fucking wow.
It's
Never
so
appreciated him. And he's just
So
like,
impressive.
Haruka-san. Like,
Yeah.
he's so fucking good, dude. It's crazy.
But he's acting through a
Haruka-san.
language that he barely knows.
Dude.
Which I would
Wild.
it would take every ounce of my focus to simply be able to regurgitate the lines in the foreign language, let alone with inflection, let alone with facial expressions.
I know.
Like I don't know
Let
how
alone memorizing your lines.
dude, I'm so
It's
impressed.
super impressive.
I'm so impressed. And he gets cooler and cooler.
Dude, it's sick.
He's like half cool, half not that cool.
And he starts to get cool. Yeah, I'm on episode 3.
Yeah.
Dude, I asked one of my boys who's like a guy who lived in Japan, went to high school in Japan, speaks Japanese. I was like, is it as good as it is to my untrained ear?
Yeah.
He's like, I haven't watched it yet, but I'll let you know. Because like to me, it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Perfectly passable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things interesting that my dad pointed out to me. He's like, do you notice when she handed him the envelope of cash at work? He's like, that's like a thing in Japan. It's like a lot of people still get paid in cash, even at like traditional jobs.
Cool.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
That's a really solid show though.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was thinking about this. He like almost got canceled, Ansel Elgort.
Did he?
Yeah, but like he apparently survived by just like doing what you're supposed to do. But it was one of those things that was a less sort of like clearly, you know what I mean? It was a lot of appeared to be a he said, she said
Was it
situation.
a past relationship type
When
thing?
from when he was younger, a girl said that he was like super pushy and then ghosted. I think he ghosted her, something like that. Didn't make him look great. Whatever. He kind of went dark for a while, and then came back for West Side Story. They kind of were careful about the interviews, but that sucks to have a name that you can make a cancel name for. Like you could just start calling him Cancel Elgort. You know what I mean? Like no one else really has like a rhyme.
You're right. That does suck for that one human on Earth whose name is 1 or 2 letters away from cancel.
Cancel Elgort.
Give me another example.
I can't. Which is why I'm like, oh, that sucks extra for him if he didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean?
Johnny Deep Trouble. Uh-oh.
He's really turned that narrative on its head.
I mean
Pretty
these
wild.
these scenes from court are making him likable.
Dude, it's
It's hard to believe.
It's like that. It's the crazy court case of this era.
I still don't understand what happened.
I don't either.
I don't understand what happened, and I don't know who's in the wrong, and I don't know what's going to happen. Because as I recall,
Crazy tidbits.
when all of this was coming out, Johnny Depp was this alcoholic, abusive man.
Yeah.
And we all came at him and hated him. Next thing you know, all of a sudden everyone's rooting for him. Where did that come from? Where was the flip? Did it come out that Amber Heard was, am I wrong? I don't even know.
I mean, I know she went numero dos spitefully in his bed.
Yeah. And then
That
there's
wasn't
like
helpful.
clips of her admitting to punching him and saying, you know, good luck trying to convince the public that a man was actually abused by a woman,
Oof.
which is a pretty damning thing. But I don't know, man.
You don't want to be saying that out loud.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
Do people like Johnny Depp? I mean, he's not really one of those de facto likable people.
Okay. So to me, it seemed as if he was until this, but now he's sort of getting to tell his side of the story or whatever, and people seem to be shifting back in his favor. Again, I'm not following too closely there. Chris has some stuff for us.
Isn't it like a defamation case? Because she just like ruined his image, his public image,
Yeah.
and that's why we all think of him like this.
Totally.
And That's
Okay.
what
right.
he's fighting back against.
Wow.
It's certainly entertaining from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I know that
I
these are
do-
these people's lives.
I
but-
do think he is incredibly cool.
Mhm.
His voice never wavers from that sort of low, slow, rum-soaked
Yeah, that's
kind of delivery. He just doesn't seem. He seems utterly unflappable, above it all.
He's super
He's
cool.
above it.
Yeah.
Um,
Doesn't he live in France?
does he?
He did. I don't know if he still does. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fucking Johnny Depp.
Pretty cool.
Dude, okay. So I have a couple things. Do we have more on that topic?
No. That's it. I don't even know what we were talking.
Also,
I can't keep
it's
track of what we're talking
April
about.
26th, so it's still going on. So maybe something will change, but if not,
Should we not say?
No,
just a
it's
disclaimer.
fine. Just
Okay.
keep in mind,
Yeah.
fans, listeners, that that's the perspective we're coming at this with. And if tomorrow a videotape emerges of Johnny Depp, I don't know, doing something horrible we didn't know. So apologies.
Okay, dude. So somebody played like a really weird prank on me at a like order at the counter spot. I don't know if a prank's even the right thing to call it. Dude, it was some like noodle place that I would have never stopped at if I wasn't hungover. I was like, oh, that looks good. Whatever. I couldn't even tell you what it was called. It was some random ass like Asian inspired bowls. I'm like, right, whatever. So I go in there, I get it. And then there's toppings. And he goes, all right, you get to pick 4 toppings. I'm like, all right.
Oh, here we go.
And
You and toppings, man.
dude.
Fuck
So
yeah.
no, but I go, I'm like, I guess shrimp. Because you could put shrimp on it. So you put shrimp on it. Then I asked for the other thing. And he goes, shrimp's $5 extra, by the way, after he'd already put it on the bowl. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. And he goes, just kidding. I was like, dude, what? Now you made me be a dick. Isn't that weird? Isn't that like,
Well, you're saying that that's a prank?
I don't know. Yeah. He was like, oh, the shrimp's $5 extra. Cause that's like, maybe that's an obscene amount to not tell somebody before they put it on the food.
Yeah.
And I was like, you didn't tell me that. I was like, wait, what? You didn't tell me. I was like, I didn't know that. I said it like that. Which now makes it seem like $5 is such a big deal to me. It's not. It was just
I don't think what you said makes you a dick.
Yeah, but now I've behaved like a dick. And he's like, just kidding. But now I was just a dick. And now I have to be nice again. But it was real when I was a dick.
But again,
It's so uncomfortable.
I think you're damning yourself too much to say that saying, "Oh, I didn't know that," makes you a dick.
This is what keeps me up at night. This is knowing that something like that's going to happen again.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, knowing like someone's going to be pissed at me. I'm going to be completely well-intentioned and somehow get it wrong still.
I'm losing sleep over nuclear warheads raining down on our apartment. And you're thinking about the shrimp joke?
Yeah, yes. The shrimp that gives me a lot of anxiety. Knowing that I'm going to get like what happened to you with that lady in the Southwest line would really make me uncomfortable.
I look forward to those.
You do
moments.
well. You do well in them. I'm trying to
You
get
gotta
better.
know that you're quick enough, and it's going to. It's a sharpening sparring session. That's you sharpening your blade, and it may be for them as well, which is fine. This is you are someone who must
not to
rely
be on the
upon-
battlefield.
Yeah, but you
You mean
Sierra's
for
the same
comedy?
way.
I don't want to fight with people for maybe not for no reason, but I'd prefer to not be. I'll do it if I have to, but I prefer not to. I got in a fight with the guy at the ping pong place the other night because he told me I couldn't bring a water in. I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Why is that the rule?" He's like, "Because this is a bar." I'm like, "Well, this is water, dude. Like, do you want to smell it? I don't know. What you think I'm bringing a bottle of vodka in?" Dude?
That's good. That's
Right?
good.
Right?
You said that.
Yeah. And then
And then what did he say
goes,
to
"Well,
that?
that's the rules. I'm here to enforce the rules." I go, "Well, that's a stupid rule." And he goes, "Well, I think it's stupid that you think that you could bring a beverage into a place."
Ooh, those are fighting words.
And I was like, "Dude, okay, whatever, dude." I went,
Mhm.
"Whatever, dude." And then I walked inside. And then my friend goes, "Dude, do you want me to complain?" I was like, "Dude, you don't have to complain."
Mhm.
And he goes, "Just watch." He goes, "I got it." And he goes, he goes, "The lady this." He goes, "The guy upstairs was pretty rude, and I gotta be honest, I was hurt." He goes, "Yeah, I'm a sensitive guy."
Was he was fucking around.
He was that was him complaining in a way that was actually like really funny.
Yeah.
And the lady goes, sorry, he's grumpy."
Oh,
Which I guess you want your door guy to be grumpy, but the ping pong place doesn't need that guy.
no.
Send that guy to Fiddlesticks, dude. Send that guy to a bar where like shitty 22-year-old bros hang out.
and say, "I'm calling my dad, who's a lawyer," after the bouncer punches you in the face.
That's good.
Are you impressed
That's
that I
good.
pulled that?
That had to be episode 13.
That's so many episodes ago.
I got punched in the face by a bouncer at Fiddlesticks.
and claimed that your dad was gonna sue.
And said my dad was a prominent lawyer, which is a lie. My dad is not a lawyer. Yeah. And
Wow. Wait, hold on. There's a lot to unpack here. There's so much to unpack here. So the problem with the witty sparring with somebody like that, a figure of authority, is that you can very quickly step into the territory of entitled douchebag.
For sure.
If you are making their job harder and they're right and they're just following a policy, you can't push past a certain point, because then you're just an asshole.
Agreed.
I'm trying to think how I would have handled that situation.
I feel like you wouldn't have cared about the water thing. I always find it funny when like I get really ticked off about something and Francis just doesn't at all. I'm like, oh, like it makes me de-escalate, which is good.
Yeah. I listen. I get his policy, but I think
he didn't have to be a dick. Like he could have just been like, dude, I hear you. I don't make the rules. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you're asking him to empathize with everyone who comes in the door.
Dude, it was a Poland spring bottle with like water.
If you had brought a hydro flask in, would it have been okay? How is it possible that does this spin?
I don't want to say which place.
You were at a bar that had ping pong.
Yes.
It's got to be spin.
I don't want to say a place.
Well, my point being, if it is a bar that truly hosts competitive ping pong, I don't understand how they could not allow the people that could bring water in, because some of those ping pong players are in there sweating up a storm.
So it was the evening, which is more of like the drink. It's like I'm there to drink and ping pong is the secondary activity. Potentially.
Did it have other games other than ping pong?
No.
It's just ping pong.
A bar and ping pong. But dude, like, whatever. The guy, like, dude, there has to be some critical thinking involved. If I literally was like, dude, I swear it's not alcohol or something. Like, why would I? Like, could you not sniff out that I'm not sneaking in vodka? Like, who the fuck does that? And granted, maybe there is someone who does it. But if I'm like, dude, smell it. If I were the bouncer, I would have actually smelled it.
Yeah, but maybe it's Molly water.
Molly water?
Yeah, where they put Molly in the water and drink it, and then you are rolling face at the ping pong bar.
Okay, but that is not in some way affecting the business of the bar, because the bar doesn't sell Molly water.
Until they have to carry you out like you've been dragged out of the sea.
Okay, well then let's say I guess the Molly water would prevent you from buying alcohol. But you
don't
juice.
drink. You don't. Oh, is that right?
I think they have juice available.
Do people who are rolling on Molly drink juice?
Drink juice.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Is that the thing?
From what I've heard, yes.
I've done the Molly the one time in my life. I didn't even mean to, really. I was so afraid of it. All I'd heard was that ice cream scoop analogy. Oh, it takes an ice cream scoop out of your brain. And I was like, I eat a lot of ice cream. And I take heaping scoopfuls. And I do not want to lose that much of my brain. I mean, what lobe are we talking about, too? But
they also say that if you do it, there's a chance that like the next day you may never. A psychiatrist once told me, if you take it, you may lose your ability to ever feel happy again. Yeah, it's possible.
These stakes are pretty high.
Fuck that.
And I don't know if those are sort of similar to the old school dare ads that are just taking totally ridiculous extremes of what could happen if you smoked marijuana.
Right.
You smoke marijuana, you may never have children.
You consciously take your infant little brother and throw him in a lake.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, dude, what? It's insane.
Yeah, but the Molly, one time someone was trying to get me to do it, and they were really pushing me because everyone was doing it. So I just ran my finger along the inside of this scary looking plastic bag to get the residue, and then I rubbed it in my mouth, and that was enough.
Did you feel it?
I did, man. I was at a outdoor bar, with Christmas lights, and all I wanted to do was hold hands with people.
Oh, that's fun.
I wanted to hold hands with everybody. I would start talking to women, not men.
Okay.
You know me.
You know me, dude.
And I would talk to them and I would hold their hands, and I think they found it very charming. Like I was a little toddler. I wasn't being aggressive. I was just being very needy.
Yeah. Happy and needy.
Happy and needy. But I didn't like it that much, so I didn't do it. I haven't done it ever again.
Probably solid.
But at the ping pong bar, the water, yeah, I don't know.
Molly in the water.
I mean, to me, it's what we've got now.
What?
These verbal skirmishes, these challenges of wit,
Mhm.
right? Because we can't really compete athletically anymore. We're not, right?
Yeah, okay, fine. But dude, but I'm not like seeking it out.
No,
I'm not excited when it arises.
but you
either.
say to me all the time, like, this is something that would only happen to Francis.
All right.
And I think that's because I leave the door open more than you do, because they could happen to you.
I let it go more than you too. Like the lady in the line, I would have just let her be in line in front of me.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have minded about the water bottle.
Totally. Which is crazy.
Look at us.
You just wouldn't have minded. It's true, dude.
Different sticking points.
Different strokes for different folks.
Different sticking points for different guys.
Okay, we're probably gonna wrap it up in a sec, but I have a funny email that ties in funnily with some of our last episodes. I think you'll like.
Excellent.
It's short and sweet and very funny. It's the title is "Keep Francis Safe."
Uh-oh. This is apropos.
I can't help but think that the woman that wrote the erotic poem about Francis was the person that stole his wallet in disguise. Stay safe.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you know what? While we're at it, we have an update. Remember the person we talked about this on the Stuff Island episode. The person who was going to go out on a date with her brother's friend.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an update.
Oh, good.
Okay, boys.
She liked him. They had hooked up. The brother didn't know. And he had said, don't tell the brother because...
But the brother had given him his blessing to date her.
That's
if he wanted
right.
or
That's
something.
right. Mm-hmm.
Boys, I have an update for you guys. Ski weekend has come and gone. And
Are we getting this email from the woman? It's
Yeah.
the woman, the sister. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So say it again.
I have an update for you guys. Ski weekend has come and gone. It went amazing. My best friend couldn't make it. So it was just myself, Joey, and my brother. Although Joey and I somehow ended up with a full bonus day, just us two Thursday night until Friday, until my brother rolled in after work. I was nervous as fuck, but the road trip flew by and everything was fully natural between us. We hooked up again, even better this time. Spent the day on the mountain together, had some really good conversations. We established that we both had feelings for each other, and Joey decided to find a time to chat with my brother about it on the car ride home at the end of the trip. I spent the whole drive alone in my car with sweaty palms waiting for the update, but it went extremely well. Joey explained how he felt after having some one-on-one time with me and wanted to ask me on a real date. My brother said there's nobody else he would rather have take me out. He was fully supportive. I already knew it, but this just goes to show how fantastic my brother is. That's very true. Your brother's awesome. I feel like one lucky gal. I have a kick-ass brother and an exciting new developing relationship with someone I trust. Appreciate y'all's input and hope you enjoyed the story. We sure did.
Wow.
Sure did.
That is that's a great tale. An American story.
Job well done.
Yeah, good job, both of you guys.
Good tale.
Man, I hope it works out though.
Dude,
it doesn't change the fact
It's
that
true.
if he
High risk.
cheats on her, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Totally. High risk.
Yeah, because that'll end the friendship between Joey and the brother too.
It could.
You know, if one of my best friends
could.
was like, I want to date your sister, and I gave my blessing, and then he cheated on my sister,
I know.
it would be different than
You got to be good. Yeah.
whatever.
Totally. The stakes are certainly high. Sounds like hopefully it's worth it.
Yeah.
Play safe.
Wow. Good stuff. Congrats, lady.
Congrats.
Yeah.
French, what do you got coming up?
Ooh, Seattle this weekend. Tomorrow night, I will be in Seattle at Laughs Seattle. Get tickets for that, francisellis.com. I hope to see some of you West Coasters there. And then May 19th to the 21st, Boston, baby. Hope you guys will come out. Haven't headlined Boston since I did my special at the Wilbur back in 2019. So this is a big homecoming show for me. And again, tickets for that also, francisellis.com. Hope to see you.
Awesome. I have a few new dates coming up that we're still locking in, but I'm going to be in Tampa, Milwaukee, Charlotte, and then I have Seattle also July 28th at the Crocodile Lounge. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully see you guys, and thank you.